Hi everybody, I hope you guys are doing peachy. So we are going to do a reading for the collective today, or whoever needs to hear this message. So this is obviously not for everyone. Just take what resonates and let the rest go in one ear and right out the other. Always trust your intuition. So I've pulled some energy cards, and then I'm going to get into the tarot here with you guys in a moment. There's something about 11 and 22, which are master numbers. They're also mirroring numbers, because I was getting something about, and I've never really thought about that before with 11 and 22 or like 33, that they're technically, you know, the numbers are mirroring one another, which is interesting. And mirroring came up in yesterday's reading, if you're interested in watching that. But we've got Goddess of the Moon here and Yin and Yang. I feel like you guys are closing out a cycle here. And I feel like it's actually, it feels like you should be doing something to close this cycle out. It feels like it almost feels a little bit stagnant, because it's interesting. There's a waterfall on this Goddess of the Moon card, but I was getting that something about the energy feels stagnant, and that is, it's meant to be that way right now, that the water is going to, it's moving and you just don't realize it. It's almost like it's moving in slow motion. It's this transitory period where things are closing out and this new cycle is going to be starting. It's this preparation and this period of going within, reflecting on, you know, the cycle that you are closing out. It's almost like a conclusion, or like say you were writing an essay and it's like the last chapter of an essay. Like, think of your life as a book, and each chapter, right, is a cycle. And it's almost like there's a brief explanation behind each chapter of, you know, this is what happened in this chapter, this is what was learned from these experiences, this is what is being let go of, this is what is being carried forward. It's really interesting. That's the way that it's coming through. It's like this conclusion, this brief summary, and it's like this period of time where you're able to really assess things. And because I'm getting not cherry picking, it's interesting because we've got cornucopia here, and there's something about fall and summer. I'm seeing a mix of fall fruit and summer fruit, and this is like I wrote on this card, a wish fulfillment that is coming in here for you. I feel like you're moving into this beautiful new cycle where there are a lot of gifts that are coming in here for you. Some of these are psychic gifts, like you are becoming much more intuitive. You are opening up to this new, a lot of you are empaths, and you're opening up to, not opening up, you have learned how to set better boundaries to the energies around you, and to be very observant, and to know what is yours, what's not yours, what's important to you and what's important to other people, which it shouldn't matter to you, right? I mean, of course, we love people, and it's like what's important to you is important to me, but it's not selfish to put your own needs and desires first, because nobody else is going to do that for you. is coming through for some reason. There's this, you know, when we have, and this is not just a romantic thing, you have relationships with other people and you love them and you want to make them happy. You want them to be happy, right? So sometimes we do things, and sometimes they're little things, sometimes they're big things. And because we want to see somebody else happy, right? But sometimes that is at the jeopardy of ourselves, or it is a sacrifice that not everyone is grateful for. Like, have you ever done a favor for somebody and there was no thank you? 555 when I just looked up. There's no thank you. There's no acknowledgement for what you did. There are people that just, they're very self-centered. And that's not what I mean. And telling you to focus more on yourself. But there are people in your life, I feel, who have been very self-centered. And I feel like Spirit has shown you how that doesn't work. That we can't just, of course we all want to be good people and we want to help people out in the world. And I think most of us want there to be community again. We want to see that in the world where people help each other and it's reciprocated, right? And there's gratitude and there's reciprocation and everybody is just feeling peace and harmony with one another. And I feel like in the world today, that is something that is missing, that community. Because we're much more isolated than we used to be. And some of us, like, I'm not gonna say I don't enjoy being alone and my alone time and all that, but there is something about the collective, right? And being connected to each other. And a lot of us need help and a lot of us need assistance. And there are people who can help us if they are so generous. And then not that we have to do the same thing for that person. Some of us can't do the same things. We have different gifts. Different people have different gifts. And I'm not just talking about spiritual gifts or having money where you can gift that. We all have something special about ourselves which we can give to other people. And when we isolate ourselves, that gift is squandered in a way. We're not sharing it. We're not helping other people. Sometimes your gift is your smile, you know, like you go out throughout your day and you smile at a stranger. And smiling for you, that's going to release endorphins. And smiling at another person, unless that person is just a weird, mean, nasty person, they're probably going to give you a little smile back, unless you're smiling really creepy, right? Unless you're giving them a creeper stare when you smile. If you just give a little smile to a stranger, that can mean so much, especially if somebody's having a bad day, or even giving somebody a little compliment, like passing somebody on the street and being like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. Or, you know, like, oh, that hairstyle looks so good on you. Something like that. Or just, you know, even complimenting somebody's smile, like, you have a really great smile. That can be a gift. Different people need different things, and sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big, but we can all give that to one another. And some people, you know, we have anxiety, and some people we just can't talk to strangers, you know, so complimenting somebody is not going to be your thing. It's going to be different for everybody. But there's this, it's interesting because there's this yin and yang. And it's funny because on the yin and yang card, do you see how these colors on these cards are merging on this one? Do you see that? Like the blues here, the blue, the gold, the gold. It's really fascinating. I'm getting an egg as well, like the yolk and the white of an egg that has been separated. And now it's ready to scramble. Okay, something about scrambled eggs. What seems separate is not. Okay, so we look like we're all separated. We look like we're all isolated, but obviously we're not. We are all connected spiritually, on a soul level. We're all sharing, and even physically, we're all sharing this earth. We're all, you know, trying to do this thing called life together. And it's hard. There's this illusion of separation. And there's something that you've been wishing for. There's some sort of cohesion. There's some sort of blending that you've been wishing for that's going to be coming through in this next chapter of your life. And you don't have to do a whole lot. That is so interesting. There's something about like, I'm hearing force of will. You know, sometimes we feel like we have to push for what we want. And a lot of times here on Earth, in the past, it has felt that way. That you've had to put a lot of effort into things to get them to manifest and to become a part of your reality. There's something about Leo and Scorpio is coming through, which those are both pretty intense energies. I want to pull some tarot. Alright, let's get into the tarot. 1233, when I just looked it up, which is technically 3 and 3. Yeah, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, which talks about dedication, putting the work in. What about this? The 4 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. Yeah, like the 4 of Swords is taking a break, right? It's a card of healing, but really taking a pause, taking a break. It's about finding peace of mind. The 5 of Wands is conflict, competition, feeling like you have to fight, like you have to put a lot of work in. I feel like a lot of you are very tired. I feel like a lot of you have pushed really hard. You've put a lot of your time and energy into something. You've, even mentally, I feel like you're mentally exhausted. Because the 5 of Wands can even be like brainstorming, trying to figure something out, which is really complicated. Because this is like, look at the way they're stacking these so that they can get to the top and reach this fire. And some people might look at this card and they might think that they're competing, right? Like they all want to get to the top and they're pushing each other down and trying to, you know, overtake other people. And the way I'm looking at this card is that they're working together so that, you know, they can all share it. They can all share this fire. Okay, it's kind of coming full circle in my mind. The way I was talking about the collective and the separateness that seems to be going on, and that actually we are not separate. We are a scrambled egg. When we all work together, when we all help one another, that is when we can have this rest. You know, when we're not fighting one another and causing more difficulty than there needs to be, when we're not struggling. Let's get some more. For the collective, for whoever needs to hear this message. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Three of Wands here. Just heard great expectations and temperance. Sagittarius energy. It's interesting. Temperance is a card of balance and moderation and that halfway point. Kind of like the yin and yang is coming through, like the passive and active, finding that balance, making, you know, self-honoring choices, not pushing yourself too hard, being patient, having patience. The Knight of Cups can be, you know, romantic. Some of you can be waiting on a partner. You could be waiting on a dream. Like there's something that you are emotionally connected to. Deeply. Your heart is on your sleeve. It's like, that's that Scorpio and Leo energy. Not to say Scorpio's heart is on their sleeve, but as a Pisces, I would say, knowing the Scorpios that I know that they think they're very sly, but I feel like the intensity of their emotions is pretty apparent to me. But there's something about being very emotionally invested in something. 1717 on the time. Being very emotionally invested in something and having great expectations and needing to find balance. Your wishes will be fulfilled. Oh my gosh, I even forgot. I had another energy card here. And we do have man holding a heart. There could be something about a partner whether that's romantically or just someone who is very caring, very loving, very nurturing, someone who brings balance into a situation, balance into your life. I don't know what kind of relationship this is, but this is a person who puts in as much effort as you do. This is a person who listens to you, listens to the things that you have to say, and they feel your words. They put themselves in your shoes. They're very empathic. This person has a lot to give. Okay, this person has a lot to give. You and this person mirror one another. That 1122. I'm hearing 2 Steps Behind by Def Leppard. 2 steps behind. Okay, and then 11 and 22. Somebody might be like a step or 2 behind another person. They may be watching, or they may be, that could mean a few different things, right? What is that? What do you want to say about that, Spirit? right, we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. There could be something about an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is Capricorn for me specifically. Someone has taken a blow to their self-worth. My throat just got tight. Someone has this past cycle that they've been through. Yeah, Six of Cups underneath the deck. And you could be mirroring this with this person, but somebody could be a little bit more healed than the other. The feminine here is still... now I'm hearing Dan Arbach from the Black Keys, heartbroken and disrepair. Somebody's heart is still broken and it's still being repaired. That's why they're in this self-reflective, concluding a chapter. They're still in that conclusion, and they're still wrapping something up. It's almost like there's this person who's just right at the beginning of this next chapter. Like they're ready and there. And you may not be aware of one another, or maybe you are. But there's this patience. If you are aware of one another, the masculine here is very patient and very empathic, very kind, loving, and nurturing. And knows, you know, the feminine just needs time. 2202, when I just looked up. Because there's something about self-worth always comes up for me with the Queen of Pentacles. Knowing your worth. Could be something about finances as well. Because now I'm hearing taking care of business and working overtime. So there could be a feminine who is just been put through the ringer and is working really hard, pushing really hard, and they're tired. They're really tired, and you're just about ready to close this cycle out. I feel like you are ready. Like you would say, if you're the feminine here, you would be like, I am so ready for this cycle to wrap up. But there are, you know, some things that need to be gone through, and some introspection that needs to happen. Alright, that is what I have for you. I'm sending you guys lots of love, wishing you all the best. Until next time, bye.